How to tell stories that actually matter. Turn any experience into a powerful message. Last year, Shalini walked onto a stage to give a presentation about leadership. The audience expected the usual business talk full of buzzwords, growth, market expansion, team building, and bullet points. Instead, she told a simple story about getting lost whilst hiking with her kids. By the end, the audience was completely captivated, and her message about navigating uncertainty stuck with them for months. Today, I'm going to show you how exactly you can turn any experience from your life, even the one that seemed rather ordinary, into a message that people will remember and act on. But hey, let's start by talking about what people get wrong about storytelling. You've probably heard that you need dramatic, life-changing experiences to tell powerful stories. Many people think they have no stories. After helping hundreds of people find and share their stories, I can tell you that's a fallacy. The most impactful stories often come from everyday moments that most people would overlook. The key isn't having extraordinary experiences, it's knowing how to find the meaning in the ordinary ones. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share a simple 3-step framework that helps you transform any experience into a message that matters. The first step is so simple that most people skip right over it, and it actually is where the real power of your story lives. The first step is turning any experience into a powerful message is what I call finding the moment of change. Now, let me tell you about Mikul, a team leader who needed to give a presentation about innovation. Can be a boring topic. He initially thought he didn't have any relevant stories to share. I haven't invented anything groundbreaking, he told me. I don't have an innovation story. Something that resonates with you, isn't it? So I asked him a different question. When did you change your mind about something important? After thinking for a few minutes, he remembered how he once strongly opposed a colleague's idea for a new customer service approach. He thought it would never work until a chance conversation with a frustrated customer completely changed his perspective. This was his moment of change, the point where his understanding shifted, and that's where every great story lives. Here's a simple way to find your own moments of change. Ask yourself these 3 questions. When did I realize something I believed was wrong? When was I surprised by an unexpected outcome? When did I learn something that changed how I approach my work? The key is looking for moments where our perspective shifted, not just things that happened to you. Miguel's story wasn't about innovation directly. It was about how he learned to recognize good ideas that didn't come from him. That's a message about innovation that people could actually use. Once you've found your moment of change, you need to structure it in a way that draws people in rather than just giving information. This brings us to the second step of framework, which transforms an ordinary anecdote into a compelling story. The second step is to build what I call a tension bridge. Here's the problem. Most people tell stories in a straight line where beginning to end. This happened, then this happened, and then I learned this, but that's not how great stories work. Great stories create tension before they offer a resolution, and that tension is extremely important. Let me show you how Leila, a finance manager, transformed her boring update about a project into a message that got her team excited about a new approach. Instead of starting with the outcome, she began with the tension. 3 months into the project, we discovered a problem that threatened everything we'd worked on so far. We had 2 options, both bad: miss our deadline or deliver incomplete work. She then decided the struggle, the late nights, the failed attempts, the moments when she almost gave up. Only after building this tension did she reveal how her team found an unexpected solution. The result? Her team was fully engaged and excited to implement the new approach which she was suggesting. The same information delivered as a straight line update would have been forgotten almost instantly. Here's why this works. Our brains are wired to pay attention to unresolved tension. When you start with what went wrong or what was at stake, you trigger your listeners' curiosity. They naturally want to know how things turned out. But there's a third step that most people miss entirely, actually, and it's the difference between a story that people enjoy and a message that actually changes how they think or act. The third and the most crucial step is what I call the bridge to relevance. Now, even a well-structured story with a clear moment of change will fall flat if your audience can't see how it matters to them. This is where most storytellers drop the ball. They assume the connection is kind of obvious. Let me show you how David, a sales director, used this step to transform his personal story into a message that changed his team's approach. David had a great story about how he learned resilience through a difficult personal challenge. But after telling it at a team meeting, he got polite nods but no real engagement. We added a simple bridge to relevance. I'm sharing this because I see us facing a similar challenge with the Henderson account. We've been rejected twice and it's tempting to give up. But what if, like in my story, the breakthrough happens right after the moment we feel like quitting? With this simple addition, his team didn't just hear a nice story, they saw how this experience could change their approach to a current challenge. The same story, but now with direct relevance to their work, seems really amazing. Here's how to create your own bridge to relevance. Start with the phrase, I'm sharing this because. Draw a specific parallel to a current situation your audiences face. Ask a question that helps them apply your lesson to their challenge. The bridge is what transforms the story into a message that matters. Think about the last story you told in a work setting. Did you include this bridge to relevance? If not, you might have shared a great story that had far less impact than it could have. Let me show you how to put these 3 steps together to turn any experience into a powerful message. So step 1, find your moment of change. Look for times when you realized you were wrong about something. An unexpected event changed your understanding. You learned a lesson that stuck with you for a long time. Don't worry if the experience seems small or ordinary. What matters is how it changed your thinking. Step 2, build a tension bridge. Structure your story with a clear challenge or a problem that creates a tension, the struggle or attempt to overcome it, the resolution or insight that emerged. Remember to build the tension before revealing the resolution. Finally, to step 3. Create a bridge to relevance. Finish your story by explicitly stating why you're sharing it, connecting it to a specific situation your audience faces, asking a question that helps them apply the lesson. Let me show you how these steps work together. Here's how my client Jennifer transformed a simple experience into a powerful message for her team. Last month, I was trying to help my daughter with her science project. She wanted to give up because her first 3 attempts failed miserably. I kept pushing her to follow the instructions exactly, but nothing worked. Finally, out of frustration, she tried something completely different. And it worked perfectly. That's the moment of change. I realized I had been so focused on following the right way that I was preventing her from finding a better way. As a parent, that was hard to admit. That's the tension bridge. I'm sharing this because I see us doing the same thing with our customers' onboarding process. We keep trying to perfect our existing approach when maybe what we need is to consider a completely different one. What would happen if we gave ourselves permission to start fresh rather than just tweaking what isn't working. Bridge to relevancy. When Jennifer shared this with her team in the meeting, what could have been just a cute story about her daughter became a message that opened up a whole new approach to their work. Remember these simple principles. The most powerful stories come from moments of changed perspective. Tension before resolution keeps people engaged. Explicitly connecting to your audience situation turns a story into a message they'll remember and act upon. But here's what makes this approach truly powerful. Stories aren't just for entertainment. They're one of the most effective ways to share insights that people will actually remember and use. The experiences you've already had contain messages that could help others navigate their challenges, their teachable moments. If you know how to share them effectively, you can change a lot for other people. The framework I've just shared isn't about becoming a polished performer. It's about connecting your experiences to others in a way that matters. When you find the moments of change in your life and build bridges to audiences' world, you don't just tell better stories, you deliver messages that create a real change on ground. What experience from your life might contain a valuable message for others? Share in the comment below, and I would love to help you find that powerful message within it so that you can tell that story and make a change happen not just for yourself, but others too. And if you want more practical communication tips, hit that subscribe button. In the coming videos, I'll be sharing how to make complex ideas simple without dumbing them down. And till then, as always, stay storied.